Hey everyone, some interesting details about the new Metro have recently been revealed, and there's also fresh information about the Resident Evil 4 remake and Stalker 2. The gaming industry insiders have not been busy, and we'll discuss the various expectations for these upcoming releases. But before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. If you're new here, you'll get the best gaming news in 4K HDR format. Okay, let's dive in. In the latest financial report, the Embracer Group announced that 5 games in the Lord of the Rings franchise will be released by March 31st of next year from various third-party studios. The release date for My Precious and Lord of the Rings, Gollum, will be revealed at a March presentation. Meanwhile, Return to Moria will be released in the spring. The Starbreeze studio recently announced a partnership with the production company Stockholm Syndrome. Their goal is to create a film or series adaptation. And Starbreeze also announced that Payday 3 is still on track for release this year and praised the enthusiasm of fans as the game has risen to number 16 on Steam's Most Wanted list. They also revealed that they are continuing to work on a new game under their own IP. Meanwhile, the Kyiv-based studio Frogways announced that the release of Sherlock Holmes The Awakened will not happen in March as originally planned due to blackouts causing delays in the final stages of development. Frogways is also attracting attention from Western gamers and the media for their recent video, which includes new gameplay footage. The remake of The Awakened is now expected no earlier than April. Additionally, the video also addresses the ongoing Russian-Ukrainian conflict. In the same financial report, the Embracer Group shared their plans for releasing new games from their studios. Currently, 17 games are in full development, with 9 of them in pre-production and 5 in the concept stage. One of these games is the reboot of Perfect Dark by Initiative and Crystal Dynamics, which is being financed by Microsoft. Additionally, Crystal Dynamics is working on the sequel to Tomb Raider, which will be published by Amazon and will feature an older Lara Croft from the 2013 reboot. Moreover, Eidos Montreal is working on the highly anticipated new installment of Deus Ex, although it's still in the early stages of development. Embracer Group aims to sell at least 2 million copies of each game. Studio Round 8 showcased fresh gameplay of their Gothic Souls-like action game Lies of Pi. They once again showed the atmospheric world set in a Victorian steampunk setting, as well as fragments of battles with unusual enemies. The video also showed the main character solving puzzles and exploring locations in the city of Krat. At some point, a mechanical marionette meets its creator Geppetto, but the circumstances of this encounter will only be known after the game's release. However, the release date is still unknown. The website Games Industry reported on the success of Hogwarts Legacy in digital stores, with game sales in Europe surpassing Elden Ring by 56%. Legacy showed the biggest start in digital sales since the release of RDR2, if not taking into account conveyor-type games like FIFA and Call of Duty. So one can conclude that these indicators confirm gamers' interest in single-player games and big brands. This is evidenced by the number of mods released in the first week. For example, the team of enthusiasts Together Team, who created the co-opus mod Skyrim Together, announced that they are working on a similar project for Hogwarts Legacy. The authors even published a video demonstrating a test build of the mod and told PC Gamer that the project is aimed at co-opus play and role-playing, with plans to implement an 8-person co-opus, although the early version is very primitive and buggy. Nevertheless, this mod clearly shows that modders have no boundaries. Tom Henderson wrote on his website, citing reliable sources, that there are no plans for Ubisoft to develop The Division 3, although he does not deny that they may appear later. The publisher is focused on supporting the second part, although there is essentially no ongoing support. As PC Gamer reported in a conversation with Ubisoft investors, Frederick Duguet mentioned some very solid improved version of Skull and Bones, but so far the company has not shown this collection to players. It seems that the company is satisfied with the current collection and the January test, during which they looked at the improved version of Skull and Bones. Details of the project unfortunately are not specified, and Ubisoft is silent about what exactly has been improved. But Finder emphasized that they are going to convince the public of the game's goodness and tell more about it in the next month. But you know, after what we've seen, we believe in the power. I know that many people are waiting for Starfield, but not everyone admits it, maybe because the public had legitimate complaints about the first demo. Therefore, Bethesda will talk more about the game, but news will have to wait, as one of the employees said that the company is not ready to share new details, and developers do not even know the approximate date of the presentation. At the same time, Windows Central journalist Jess Gorton says that the premiere of Skyrim in space may take place in June, with a small likelihood of delay, but in any case, it will be by the end of summer. Additionally, next month, on March 22nd, Epic Games will hold a new presentation of State of Unreal, where they will talk about the new possibilities of the latest version of their engine. Developers who create their games based on Unreal Engine 5 will participate in the event. As you remember, the list of projects includes such highly anticipated titles as Gears 6, The Witcher 4, Stalker 2, Blacksmith Wukong, and others. Therefore, we should expect new gameplay demonstrations, interesting technical information, and other details about new games that are being built on the foundation of Unreal 5. Speaking of Stalker, GSC announced in a series of tweets that one of the editions of the highly anticipated open-world shooter, Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl, will be increasing in price. Specifically, they are referring to the Ultimate Edition, which was previously priced at $340. As of February 21st, the price of the Ultimate Edition will increase to $380 while the other editions will remain the same price. GSC explains that the price increase is due to their desire to maintain the quality of the collector's items at a high level. However, those who have already pre-ordered the Ultimate Edition will not need to pay the difference. They also showed a short video featuring a detailed figurine of the Stalker character with an artifact in hand, indicating that the level of detail in the collector's items will be high. In addition to the figurine, the Ultimate Edition will include bonuses from other versions, such as a special art book, a map of the zone, a lamp, a backpack, and a multi-tool. Essentially, it's practical Stalker gear. Recently, the developers of Resident Evil 4 Remake responded to questions from Game Informer magazine. Let's start with the changes to the locations. You may see familiar streets and buildings, but the main area of the Cursed Village has been significantly reworked and logically expanded, given the level design of previous remakes. More buildings with detailed interiors that you can explore are waiting for us. It would be surprising if the game didn't come with some pleasant technical improvements and various little things that await us right on release, such as a photo mode and full support for DualSense controller features. Plus, players will be pleased with a new game, but the developers claim that there will be no first-person mode in the game. Also, QTEs will disappear from the remake, but not completely, as some will still remain. Developers said this after players began to sound the alarm. In addition, as revealed in the description of the Deluxe Edition, the game may include additional items that cannot be unlocked in the base version, such as a treasure map that allows players to find additional treasures for sale to the merchant during the gameplay. These treasures can be found without the map, but the description also reveals that the map adds additional treasures that are not present in standard editions, which is a nice touch. In addition to the donation map, the more expensive edition also offers other bonuses such as 2 types of weapons, costumes for main characters, and an alternative version of the soundtrack. A reliable insider, Tom Henderson, on his website Insider Gaming, citing his sources, shared behind-the-scenes details of the development of a new part of the post-apocalyptic shooter Metro from the Ukrainian studio 4A Games. The journalist noted that the new Metro is in active development and is in a playable state. At the moment, the creation has come quite far and is entering the final stage of the project. You can already play through it from start to finish and not encounter critical bugs. So, conditionally, Metro 4 will be a continuation of Metro Exodus. There are few details about the plot, but the insider learned that the story begins with a dream, after which the main character wakes up at the Spartan's base. From the perspective of mechanics and gameplay, the new game will adhere to the reliable formula of the Metro series: high-quality gameplay, crafting, resource gathering, and more. And I'll remind you that recently 4A Games announced that the game is changing for the better and will touch on such topics as war, conflict, power, politics, tyranny, and repression, and will tell, in particular, about the war in Ukraine. How it will be implemented is not entirely clear yet, so we are waiting for the first details from the game developers. As it was known, for the new game, the studio completely revamped its game engine by adding RT rays and a foundation for multiplayer. Such details suggest that the game may be presented this year, with a targeted release window in 2024. Are you also looking forward to the continuation of Metro? It seems that soon we will need to jump on the hype train. However, you don't need to jump on the hype train just to leave a comment and discuss the news. So, we are waiting for you there. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel and haven't liked it yet, who will do it now? See you on Subgamer. Watch and play with us.